Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you all for being here. We're almost 1 week back here in Washington after the summer vacation, and we're moving forward under the theme of protecting what matters. This meeting this morning is an opportunity to align our domestic agenda across healthcare, education, housing, and the broader cost of living challenges families face. The key priorities this morning are going to be healthcare security, the status of Medicare Part D, the low income subsidy review, and you all know that I directed HHS and CMS to do a full review of that, and I don't understand why we would even consider cutting these subsidies. I don't understand it. You'll have my word under this administration. This shouldn't even be a discussion and wouldn't be under my administration. And a timeline. I'm gonna ask my HHS folks and CMS folks a timeline for ensuring we have uninterrupted subsidies and a broader Medicare and Medicaid stability messaging for the month. There's a lot of fear out there among the American people. There's fear of folks who are getting ready to retire, uh, that are getting ready to retire here very soon, or are getting in that window that Medicare and Medicaid are not going to be there for you. They're not going to be there. I will tell you that it's going to be the promise of this administration, at least as long as we're in power, as long as we're in here, that Medicare and Medicaid will be available to every eligible American citizen. That's a promise of this administration. You paid into it. You need to get the benefits from it. You know, and the other thing we're working on is education. We're getting ready to go back to school. Matter of fact, this next week, a lot of schools start up, and so back to basics. Basically, our biggest problem right now is working on teacher retention incentives. We've got to figure out a way to keep teachers in the classroom. We got to figure out a way to keep teachers from resigning the night before school starts. We've got to pay teachers a livable wage. And at the same time, we must make our standards higher. One of the things that I'm going to push for, and this has already been tried in a lot of districts. I know one in Texas is doing this, of having a reading academy. I want to bring that reading academy nationwide, where every teacher is taught the essentials of reading and how to teach it. There's a fine program at a district down in Texas that they spend an entire school year um, going over the fundamentals of reading, actually led by a very fine educator. She's a phenomenal educator. Would love to have her up here. But um, so I want to bring that program to the national level because, and I've said this often, and you've heard me say this, the the students, the kids in that classroom are our future. Long after everyone of us here in this room today are gone, retired or gone, um, they're our future. There'll be someone else sitting in this seat one day, and we have to prepare them for that. And teaching the basics, the math, the science, the reading, and the good and bad of American history, that's important. That makes your future leaders. And one of the things that we are going to coordinate with is the Department of Education on early reading and math incomes. We're also going to focus on school readiness and nutrition programs as we head into this new year. Another district down in Texas has made a phenomenal leap in that, and they're now having catered meals come into their schools. So we're going to see how that works out, and that may be a pilot program that we carry on. We've got to have nutritious meals for these students because they cannot live on an empty stomach. You know, and when it comes down to housing, that's our next thing that we're going to talk about here. I want to get a status report on the Housing for the 21st Century Act. I think among all, we've done a lot of things together in our time together here in DC, but I think this is probably one of our biggest accomplishments uh, because it protects our neighborhoods, it protects our cities. Our cities are not owned by corporations. People live in these cities. People live in these neighborhoods. Corporations don't. So under my administration, we are going to enforce. We are going to enforce the Housing for the 21st Century Act, and I hope that it goes down to a local level. I'm not saying that you can't, as a homeowner, sell your home to a company. That we're not going to tell you can't do that, but we want this industry regulated. Too many times, these corporations come in and disregard a lot of rules and regulations and take advantage of homeowners that are in situations they can't get out of, and they take advantage of these people. They buy these homes, they flip them, and they ruin the neighborhood. And so we're going to tighten up the strings here in DC. Now I wanted a 5-year moratorium for 5 years. When you buy a home as a corporation, 5 years, it's yours. We got 2.5. That's a start. So now, if you're a corporation, you buy a home, it's not 30 days and you close and flip it. It's 2 years and you close and flip it. We have got to get these neighborhoods back in the hands of everyday Americans. And also inflation and the cost of living pressures on working families. And how this education, housing, and healthcare work, how this can reinforce one another. And the direction I want the council to take this morning is quite clear. I want practical recommendations for what are immediate steps on the Medicare Part D subsidies. I'd like to see a timeline for the next Public Education Reading Academy event. I know this is something that is going to take some planning. It may be something that we implement not this school year coming up, but maybe the next school year. But I want to see this rolled out on a nationwide scale. We will measure success by results for families, not process. Let's keep the focus there. We are here. We are here for the American people. The American people sent us here to do a job, and it's up to us to do that job. Thank you very much. I look forward to the discussion and the concrete follow-up items very shortly. So we're going to go ahead and let the press head out, and we're going to get this started. Thank you guys very much. Thank you. Thank you.